Welcome to my channel. My channel is about everything that I can think of. It's educational, tutorial, about sewing, traveling, financial, carpentry, and gardening. Today's topic is about making my soil mix for succulents. Right soil mix is one of the most important in growing succulents. A soil mixture that enhances drainage, increase evaporation, and provide the dry conditions that succulents like. The soil should promote optimum health for the succulents by trying to mimic its previous growing conditions, their natural habitat. You should try to copy the right soil mix of their natural habitat. Succulents require soil that's pebbly, sandy, and porous, and one that provides excellent drainage and aeration. The right type of soil will need to dry quickly after you water the plant. It should not keep the roots and stems from sitting in moisture, which can cause root rot. The mixture should also be able to meet the nutritional needs and ideal for them. Using a good porous soil for succulents is very important to prevent overwatering. Overwatering is the #1 cause of death for succulents, and that is why it is very important to make sure you use the right type of soil to plant them. Making your own soil mix is cheaper, and you can control the ingredients. You can modify your soil recipe to get the perfect soil mix that your succulents will love. When you make your soil mix, consider the following. Consider the climate of your place. You cannot use the same mix for tropical and desert cacti, as the living conditions are a bit different. If you live in an area where there's a lot of rain, you should consider not putting too much ingredients that holds water. If you live in a very arid climate, you will want the addition of peat in your potted plants. It's because peat moss can help to maintain the moisture your plant needs. These are the things you should keep in mind when you make your mixture. Number 1, the mix needs to have excellent drainage. Number 2, it is important to be well aerated. Number 3, it needs to be soilless. It's because regular garden soil is way too heavy and compacted for the plant. There are a lot of ingredients of soil mixes. Knowing how they work is the most important. Also consider the availability and your budget. I use the cheapest and the most available ingredient. You don't have to repeat the same ingredient. Like perlite and pumice, they have the same purpose. Peat moss and cocoa coir are also similar. So why make it complicated? You can also just use compost and perlite, just 2 main ingredients. Unless you have hot summer like in our place, you have to add more ingredients for water retention. You can use cocoa coir or peat moss, depending on the availability. So my soil mix is 5 parts of compost, 2 parts of perlite or pumice, and 1 part of cocoa coir or peat moss. This soil mix works for all my succulents so far. I don't deal with root rot often since I started this soil mixture. I use compost because it is cheaper than potting mix and has more nutrients. I don't have to add fertilizer. It is enough to make my plants healthy. You may have to tweak the soil recipe depending on where you are using your cactus growing mix and what variety of succulent you have. If it is a desert species, use the simplest blend of clean fine sand, grit and soil. If you have a tropical species, add peat moss. I will give you an example why you need to modify the mixture of your soil mix. Some of the tropical cacti are found in places such as jungles. Since they are epiphytes, they grow attached to the trees. Example of this is the Christmas cactus. Even as the tropical areas are rainy, cacti drain freely because they hang on the trees. They only get enough water they need from the rain. That prevents them from root rot. At home or your garden, you can mimic that environment. You can use evenly moist soil, but water is not sitting inside your pot. They need a soil that drains effectively. And they like soil with more organic matter. So compost is the best. Perlite is made from volcanic rock, which is heated and crushed until it explodes in order to transform the rock into small white pieces. It is porous. The microscopic bubbles in perlite granules absorb and hold water, so it's available for the plant. It retains moisture and drains any excess water, making the soil dry. It is added to soil mixes in order to improve the drainage. Perlite is used to improve aeration by keeping the soil loose. Coco coir is everything in between the shell and the outer coating of the coconut seed. It is a long fiber that absorbs excess moisture and dry out quickly. Coconut coir is inert, meaning that it has no nutrients within it. It is an organic compound that is used for water retention, promotes aeration and drainage of soil mix. It gives the roots plenty of room, allowing for optimum air exposure. It minimizes harmful pathogens and reduces the risks of pests. This medium boasts antifungal properties, which keeps the roots happy. It can repel some pests. To summarize, my soil mix for succulents are 5 parts of compost, 2 parts of perlite, and 1 part of cocoa coir. That's all for now. I hope you learned from my video. Press subscribe and share to support my channel. Press the bell button to be notified with my upcoming videos. Thank you.